A wise man once said that there are three important things a man must leave for his children: his photos, his journals, and his library. Well, I know someone out there is probably asking, how about land, properties, and money? Well, I guess those are also very useful. We recently joined Supo Shasore, a lawyer, writer, and former commissioner in Lagos State, to review his book, A Platter of Gold, which is basically the story of Nigeria's making between 1906 and 1960. Interestingly, two of his other published books, Possessed and The King and the Colony, are also history books. We fell in love with his small-sized but well-stocked personal library, so we couldn't help but take a peek. I suspect you will find some of his old books very interesting. Come along with us.
They say good libraries hold special treasures. That has to be true considering the incredible amount of knowledge one can find in a library. Supo Shasore's love is to preserve and share the history of his country. So what's the personal library of a man with such a passion like?
I see there's a lot of history here.
Yes.
You seem to have a preference for history.
Yeah. I have some general interest books as well, but I generally prefer history. I don't read fiction at all.
Old wine is fine, but old books are invaluable. One of the interesting things about this library are the old materials you'll find there. Some of them date back to over 100 years old.
First of all, I started collecting books out of interest, and then I decided to, where possible, collect original old books of the events that interested me. So I think the actual oldest would be, well, it might not qualify as a full book, but it's these British parliamentary papers, the original parliamentary papers of an 1865 hearing.
1865.
That they had into the affair in Lagos, where Lagos was bombarded.
1865.
So these are the actual Hansard.
Published in 1865.
Yeah, published in 1865. So this is the original. You have to be careful the way you carry it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Where did you get this?
I bought it when it was decommissioned from the British Archives. So I bought it. I had to bid for it.
1865.
Well, the second in age, I guess, would be the biography of, over here, of Sir John Holy Glover, written by his wife.
Glover?
Yes.
The former governor?
Governor of Lagos.
Of Lagos Colony.
Yes. Written by his wife, Lady Glover, just after he died. And this book is an original, so it's not a reprint. It's 1895.
1895.
Yeah. So this is what books, you can smell it. You can smell the age of the paper. There you go.
1897.
Sorry,
97. Smith, Elder and Company. So this is the story of Glover. So there must be a lot of Nigeria in here.
Oh yeah. So what I have is on this wall you'll find Nigeria and Lagos Colony. Okay. And here you'll find a lot of Biafra. And behind you there is the continuation of Nigeria and the colonial history.
So that's 1865, this is
1897.
97. Again, how do you get that?
This is the same method, but this was from the SOAS library. Again, when they decommission books based on how many times that they're referenced or asked for, there's a threshold. If they don't get queried or asked for particular, then they recommend it for delisting.
Imagine laying your hands on books about Nigeria written by the country's old colonial masters.
This book is called Native Races and Their Rulers by Sir Charles Temple. Charles Temple was the one-time Lieutenant Governor of Nigeria and then later Governor of Nigeria, Northern Nigeria. He deputized for Lugard at the time of the amalgamation. Okay. He spoke Hausa fluently, and he lived in northern Nigeria for many years. He understood the entire essence of northern Nigeria. He was a very popular and very knowledgeable guy. And this is an original.
It looks very old.
I think this is 1909. Oops.
You probably use this to keep the book.
Yes,
keep the book together.
The elastic is
Keep the pages
used to
together.
keep the. He spoke Hausa fluently and actually wrote a book in the language, and you can see it's from him himself to his friend.
Autographed.
Yeah, so there you go. And this is an original
1918.
1918. Yeah, because I keep promising myself I have to restore it. Yes.
And the rulers. Now, these books are, I'm guessing, out of print
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Is there anything being done to republish them?
Well, I suppose somebody has to do it somehow. The normal copyright laws will have expired by a fraction of time, so it's probably a good idea to get somebody to publish or somewhere to publish it.
Our founding father of Nigeria was the great Herbert Macaulay. What if you can find original writings and book materials on him? How exciting will that be?
This is a publication that came out when he died, just literally the month he died, after his death.
1946.
Written by Isaac Thomas, who was a well-known journalist at the time and one of his proteges. So it contains a lot of contemporaneous information about the funeral and the life of Herbert Macaulay. Again, it's an original. You keep flicking it like. So this is 1946.
And these are very important historical figures.
Yes. So
I'm saying here.
it has information about people who brought wreaths, what the coffin looked like, what the speeches that Zik gave at the graveside.
Is there any other book like this that tells the story of Herbert Macaulay?
He was, not many things were written about him from external sources, so you have to piece him together. I know that Professor Tamino, formerly of the University of Lagos, wrote something on him, a very short piece, a book about Herbert Macaulay, but he's surprisingly not really biographed properly. Yeah.
Such a critical figure in
Absolutely.
Nigeria, the making of Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And then how about this? I can see Herbert Macaulay.
Yeah, those are Herbert Macaulay papers that I was able to acquire in copies over time. Just being able to piece things together. When he died, he donated his library to the National Archives. So some of the papers are still there, in some condition or the other, but you have to go there to see the originals.
One of the landmark events in colonized Nigeria was the famous Igbo Women Riot, which some like to call the Aba Riot. Imagine laying your hands on the original report of the commission set up by the British colonial officers to look into the riot.
This is the original report of the Aba Commission of Inquiry. And I refer to this a lot in the book, The Platter of Gold. This was published in 1929. Immediately after so this is the original report.
Of the commission?
Original report.
Whoa. Whoa, how did you lay your hands on this?
I bought this.
You bought this?
I bought this. Investigative. I was so happy the day I tracked this book down because I'd already started writing the book.
Where did you buy this? Fill me in.
We'll take that offline. And then here's some other original material regarding the, I don't know if you recall, the Eleko Eshubayi dispute. These were pamphlets that were published in 1909.
Wow.
To sensitize people about the oppression that the British were vetting out onto the King of Lagos at the time. So more seditious material at the time, I'm sure. Containing a letter of appeal from Eshubayi himself. So this is 1909. This one is slightly later, I suspect.
His Excellency, the Governor.
Donald Cameron.
Donald Cameron.
Yeah, he brought this in 1931.
Hopefully, this has inspired you to start building a special library. Like the wise man said, it is something important to leave behind for the next generation.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. As always, we'll be happy to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.